Hello everyone and welcome to RcHelpDotCom. I'm Tony, and in the last video I went through and showed you how to set up the basic settings of an airplane. In this video we're going to do the exact same thing, except this is the basic settings for a helicopter. The first thing you want to do is push and hold this roller and then turn your radio on. Now in here we're going to want to select our model just like we did before. I was on here, which is airplane. We're going to go down here to number 21 and we're going to make this one the helicopter. Select that one. Now we're on model 21. Now we need to go into model type. Here we're going to be selecting helicopter. Data will be reset. Yes. Now everything about this radio has just changed, and we now have swash functions. We now have more tail functions. Now what we need to do is scroll down to model name. It's set on heli right now. Well, that looks like every other basic setting, so we're going to rename it. How about helicopter? I like it. Click back. Now we need to go into swash type. Different helicopters have different swashes. Let's say we're setting this up for my T-Rex 450. Go in here to swash type. Your different swashes are 1 servo normal, 2 servos 180, 3 servos 90 degrees, 3 servos 120 degrees, 3 servos 135 degrees, and 3 servos 140 degrees. Your manual is going to tell you what swash setting you should have on this radio. I know with the Align T-Rex, it's going to be a 3 servo 120 degree swash. So I'm going to select that one, hit back. Now we go up in here to switch select. In this menu, for any of these functions here, any of these switches, you can select what channel it's going to be in on the receiver. As you can see here, gyro is on the gear channel. That's going to be this one right here as far as the gyro switch, and then the gear channel is the gear channel on the receiver. Your governor is going to be auxiliary 2. It's going to be on this switch here, but it's going to be on auxiliary 2, which is your 7th channel on the receiver. If you're running a 6-channel receiver, you won't be able to use this. The knob is going to be on auxiliary 3. What that is it's this knob right here, and for whatever reason that you may want to use this, that's going to be the channel that it's going to be on. It's channel 8 on the receiver. If I was to take auxiliary 3 off of the knob, I could put it on hold, mix, trainer, F mode. I could put it on any of these. F mode inhibit, this is not shutting this switch off, I assure you. That just means that you're not putting it on gear auxiliary 1, auxiliary 2, or auxiliary 3. Trust me. Once you're done with setting up all your switches, click back. Now we need to go into F mode setup. Like I said, we didn't disable this in that last menu. In here, you basically select which switch you want on your F mode. You can turn it off completely. Aileron dual rate, which is right here. Elevator, which is over here. Rudder, which is this one right here. Gyro, which is this one here. Obviously, our gyro is already taken up, but we could put it there. F mode, that's where I really want it. Put it on the throttle hold, which is back here. Unfortunately, I'll be putting throttle hold down here. The governor switch, we could put it there. The mix switch, those are the different switches that you can put the flight mode on. Like I said, I want mine on the F mode switch. Throttle hold, guys, do yourself a favor. Always put throttle hold on. I don't care what switch you put it on. Aileron, elevator, rudder, gyro, hold, governor. It doesn't matter what switch you put this on. Put throttle hold on something to where that switch can be flipped and you can raise and lower your throttle without that motor spinning up. I always put mine on hold because this is where I feel comfortable with the throttle hold. I know that if I get in trouble, all I got to do is reach back here and flip up. And for you electric guys, flipping this is pretty much going to kill the motor and allow you to auto rotate down or not have as much damage to the helicopter when you hit the ground. Now for you nitro guys, there's also a menu in here, and we'll get into it a little bit later, but it's for throttle cut. Once you got your F mode setup done, click back. We'll go into trim setup. Just like I explained in the other one, when you go to trim these things out, obviously if you're running a fly barless setup, you're not going to be doing hardly any trimming at all. I didn't have to do any on the T-Rex Pro. I'm absolutely sold on 3-axis gyros. But if you're running something that you need to do some trimming on and you don't think you got your swash plate quite level, what you'll do is you'll come down here, let's say aileron. Right and left trim doesn't really matter unless you put it on something like your gyro. But again, we'll get into that a little bit later. What you can do is you can click in here and go all the way up to 10, anywhere between 7 and 10. Set it on there for your maiden flight, the maiden flight only, and get it trimmed out. You may have to hold just a little bit of stick in here to keep it flying level, but it's going to get you really, really close to your trim and to your final settings. Once you're done with that, lower this thing down to 1, 2, or 3, somewhere in that area, and each time you click your trim button, it's only going to move the servo 1, 2, or 3 steps instead of 8, 9, or 10 steps. With the lower the number here, the more fine tuning you can do to your aircraft. The higher the number is more for maiden flight. It's basically like carving wood. You're going to do a rough carving, then you're going to go in with sandpaper and small picks and files, and then you're going to kind of sand out your final design. Same thing here. Lower the number, the finer the design is going to be, the better it's going to fly. Higher number is just your rough end settings. Now on your type, I'm not exactly 100% sure what this is, but I've always left this on common and it's always worked perfectly for me. If you guys have a suggestion on using F mode, then post a comment right down here below and let me know what you use the F mode for on the type in the trim step, because I'd really like to hear your opinions on what you do with it. But for what I do, I always leave it right there on common. Now your right trim and left trim, it's the exact same thing as these over here, but it's for whenever you put something on your right and left trim buttons. And like I said, we'll get into that a little bit later. Click back. Model reset will do just that. It'll reset your model to the basic settings that we're having to change now. Model copy, if you want to see that, watch the airplane video and it's in there. Your warnings, just like in the airplane video, you've got your throttle. You can do over, under, or you can just turn it off. Now, like I said in the other video, why would you put it under? Because that would make you have to have your stick up in order to turn your radio on. I always put it over. Whenever you click this and then scroll to the right, you're going to be able to set your percentage on what's your percentage of throttle before it starts letting you know that you're too high. 10% to me seems like a really good setting. Now here on Stunt 1, you've got obviously a 3-position switch right here. What it is, you got normal, Stunt 1, and Stunt 2. If you are in any of these, as you can see here, they're activated. If you just click your button, it'll go to inhibit. Right now, any of these 2 settings, it's going to tell you, look, your stunt mode is on, you need to turn it off before this radio will activate itself. Throttle hold, I would prefer people would keep throttle hold on at all times, so we need to turn that one off. Now on your alarm type, you can either have tone, vibrate, or tone and vibrate at the same time. I always leave it on tone and vibrate. Not sure why. Once you're done with that, click back. Telemetry is a whole nother video. We'll get into that a little bit later. Now your frame rate is basically the milliseconds for your servos. If you're running analog servos, leave this on 22 milliseconds. However, if you're running digital servos, go down here, click the button, and change to 11 milliseconds, and your response time gets that much better. If you're running an old DSM-2 receiver, go down here, click the button, and change it to DSM-2. If you're running DSM-X, obviously leave it on DSM-X. Click back. If you're going to be buddy boxing, if you are just starting out in this hobby, buddy box with someone, especially if you're getting into helicopters, you will save yourself so much money because you'll be standing with someone that knows how to do this, and they're going to get the helicopter up into the air for you. They're going to get it stable. Then they're going to push and hold this trainer button, and you're going to have it. Anytime you get in trouble, I guarantee you, their fingers are on the sticks doing exactly what you're doing. And if you get in trouble, all they got to do is let go of that switch, and they regain control of it. Guys, do a buddy box if you're just getting into this, especially if you are starting out in CCPM. You will save yourself so much money. Now system settings, I already did in the very first video, so I'm not going to get into any of that right here. Transfer SD card, we'll get more in depth in this in another video as well. So guys, that is the basic setup for a helicopter, CCPM helicopter mind you, the basic setup before you get into setting all your trims and throttle and pitch curves and all that. All that's coming in a later video. So guys, if you have any questions whatsoever, come over to the forum, sign up, and post your question up on there. We answer every single question that we get asked on the forum. Come on over, have a good time. We got some great members over there on the forum. We're growing every single day, and it's wonderful. Guys, I want to thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video.